spinning like a satellite. You make me feel like the sun is blasting out a rainbow light, rainbow light. You got me like ooh, you got me like ah, you got me like ah and ooh with all the things you do. Yeah, anything and everything a man can feel. Honey, I feel it with you. You got me like ah, you got me like ooh, I feel you. Yeah, yeah. You got me like yeah, 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 yeah. You got me like
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports.
Today's matchup features a very good defense. The Bucs are top 10 in fewest points allowed. And they'll be up against the Raiders offense that wants to prove it can do some damage.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The first carry for DeAndre Washington. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Well, now they'll try the end around. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard at the 28. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A big play there. Taking it in. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now a handoff as they run left side. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. Looking to throw. Knight dancing to his left. Complete to Janis. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Knight. Buying time to his left. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On first, here's Washington. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Staying on the ground with Washington. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff as they'll take over with the ball 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground right at the line of scrimmage.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the play fake. Knight. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Knight. And the Raiders have got him. Charles Tapper in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Throwing on third and long. Knight. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr on the give. It's Washington. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 32-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be knocked down sideways. Right there around the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And now here's a carry heading left. Room here to run. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On second down, here's Carr. Steps away to his left. He finds an opening past the 40 and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down right at the 20. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Now a play fake. Carr steps away. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Jadeveon Clowney able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard. Here's Marquette King now as he's on here to punt it away. So we are at halftime here. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play. Every year I go to the combine, I marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays, too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a third and about 13. Looking to throw. Knight. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
A nice little juke. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And some room to roam now. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. It's good, and it's 21-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
637.
Carr gives it off to Washington. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A carry here for the big tight end. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Running it, Washington. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up again.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now a handoff as they run left side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a second and long. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. Back to throw. Knight. Flush to his right. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. 10
yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
This is fielded at the goal line. And now here come the Raiders. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have...
It's caught inside the 25. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there. Carter Cooper, 55 yards. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And they're definitely showing blitz here. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
A short game was all he needed. He gets across the chalk for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And now here's a carry heading left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun. Knight eluding the pressure right. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Raider first down, 17 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He'll look to throw. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now a handoff looking right. And he's got room. And he'll be brought down right around the 30.